Hello and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early here at 4:45 a.m. on YouTube, and then at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. We are a show aimed at entrepreneurs, those who have their own business, those who like to own their own business. Listen, also those who simply would like to live like a boss. If you find yourself falling within one of these designations, you've arrived at the right place. Now, as you may also be able to discern from the show's title, we're also interested in the ideal of using joy itself as a technology to move us towards our goals and objectives. As we know from 10th grade science, there's a scientific imperative behind the feeling of joy. And when the body's feeling joyful, what's happening at a biochemical level is that the body is flooding itself with endorphins. And those endorphins can give us a sense of euphoria that we can then leverage to move ourselves towards our goals and objectives. On this show, we encourage everyone to start their own business that they may be able to eventually fund their own dream project, their own passion project. If you go to productivethroughjoy.com or michaeldatcher.com, you can hit the link and see about us. We offer live one-on-one productive through joy consulting. And of course, we also speak to universities, schools, and organizations about how to enhance one's productivity, as we are a productivity enhancement company. And so today we're talking about a really important topic: rest and productivity, rest in various modalities. Entrepreneurs, hardworking people, make it happen people find ourselves bordering on workaholicism, and we can that can be a problem in various ways. So we're going to be talking about that today, but also how to find rest in the spirit. So we have a really interesting and practical day show planned today. Allow me to first say a few words about myself. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. I'm the author of the New York Times bestseller, Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. I'm also the author of the acclaimed historical novel, Americas, which will be out this February 2018 on Third World Press. Look for that in bookstores everywhere. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergraduate, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature. I'm currently a professor of English at Loyola Marymount University here in California. I'm an expert at being productive, all right? I don't say that to brag, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity given how crazy my own personal narrative is. I am the product of a young girl who was raped at 16, gave birth to me at 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption to a single divorcee. And as great as my mother was and is, difficult times in the beginning for the young MD, right? At the time, no biological father, no adopted father, yet, as Kool Moe Dee famously said, "How you like me now?" And if I can be this productive and do it through joy, so can many of us who are watching the show. So if you are enjoying the show so far, please share this on your social media devices, swipe left or right to forward it, or simply let people know where to go, All right. So today we're talking again in just a few moments about rest and its relationship with productivity. We'd like to also, in the morning show, talk about the relationship of the idea of, how do we phrase it, the idea of framing your day before your day has a chance to frame you. At times we wake up with trouble on our mind because some trouble from last night followed us into our dream and sleep state, and we woke up with that same trouble on our mind. I had that experience today. Even this morning, it happens to all of us, including me still. And so, yet when we have that experience, we help people understand about a way to deal with that. And so we talk about framing your day before your day can frame you in the context of ritual. Ritual can be defined in this context as basically doing the same thing at around the same time. So let me just give you a brief exemplar, serve as a brief exemplar through my own schedule. So in the mornings, I wake up at 3:45. I read a couple of spiritual or business books. I do our show at 4:45. At 5, I work on my current novel until sunrise, which is about 6:30 here or so in LA. Then I go to the beach. I live here along the coast in Venice Beach, California. I walk out, meditate, pray. I bring my drum. I do yoga. I come back and work on my current book for a while longer. Then I go back to the beach to run up the coast, all the way past Santa Monica's Pier, all the way back here to my gym in Venice, Gold's Gym, to get my workout in and get my buff on. And so by 9:30, guys, I'm feeling amazing. My body is being flooded with endorphins, and that endorphin release gives me a sense of euphoria that I can then leverage to move myself towards my goals and objectives, which for me, objectives, which for me involve publishing real estate and, of course, consulting. So we're not saying do what I do, but we are saying do something every day in a ritualized manner, because life happens to most of us every day, all right? So again, we're talking about rest and productivity. And let's dive into that topic. Let me again remind you to go to Productive Through Joy, michaeldatcher.com, in the Michael Datcher YouTube channel, just to know what we do and see if we can help you help yourself. So let's dive into the topic. And so we're talking again today about rest and productivity. This is an issue that many people who are busy have, those who want to live like a boss. You want to place a high valuation on rest. And first, I'll say physical rest. Now, as a hardworking person myself, I know what it's like, to not get a lot of rest. And so I've had to, over the years, find creative ways to get rest. And one of the ways I get rest actually is allowing the rest that I get to have a heightened impact on me. So what does that mean? Well, through meditation. You'll be surprised, you would be surprised that by meditating, having a deep meditative practice, when you are able to do that, you physically need less sleep. I'm not sure why that's even true, but that's been my experience. I physically need less sleep. So if I sleep 5 hours, it is as if I've slept 7 hours or 8 hours. It's hard to quantify that, but in terms of how my body feels, that's my experience of it. And so that's kind of subpoint A. Subpoint B is that you want to actually make sure to get some rest. If you're super busy like I am, you want to pick and choose a couple nights just to get in bed early, just to shut it down, right? Just to crash early, right? Point 2 is that you want to rest in your spiritual practice, which is point 2. It isn't just about getting physical rest or making the hours you sleep count for more, so to speak. You also want to be able to rest in that spiritual practice, to have peace. Because one of the physical killers of individuals, especially people of color, people who have high stress jobs, is stress. Because it places undue stress on the heart, which leads to heart disease, heart attacks, etc. It can be devastating, right? So you want to be able to have a great understanding of, you want to have peace in your life. You want to be able to rest, which I'll just call it God, or you can call it Spirit, or Yahweh, or Allah, whatever your spiritual belief system is, that thing that is larger than ourselves, that primordial energy. We have to rest in that, people. We have to trust in that and be in that. And that allows us, which goes into point 3, that allows us to go bring rest to others. Listen, so many people in this world, including those in our lives, don't really have a spiritual practice that's consistent. We don't have an avenue to have rest, and they are stressed, and so they're medicating. And most of us have probably done some version of that, been stressed, tried to find a way to medicate on something, whether it's drugs, people, whatever, alcohol. And so that becomes other people's lives. And one way to really help people who you love, who you care about, is to help them, inspire them to handle their own issues. Because we really can't solve other people's problems, but we can help them become better solvers of their problems, so that their lives have more efficacy, that their approach to things is more effective. They're able to get more things done and feel better about themselves, able to renew their own self. But we can help them by being a light and example. And just by seeking rest in the Spirit, seeking rest in God, we can literally go about being more productive in our professional lives and personal lives, because we're going to be happier, we're going to be more joyful. And as we know, just from being professionals, people are drawn to people who are lights. Now, true, people who are lights are going to attract some haters. I certainly have experienced a lot of that, including right now. When you are a light, people are going to attack you because you provoke oftentimes what they're not doing, or you provoke a thing in them that makes them feel that their own dreams aren't manifesting, or if you're joyful, you remind them that they're not. And as opposed to seeking you out to try to get some help from you, at times there's a population that's going to probably always, throughout your life, that's been my experience, try to shut down your light, put a lampshade over your light to squelch it a little bit or a lot, So that's going to be there, and that's okay. That's what people do who are hurting. Hurt people try to hurt people. That's just the rule. But that is not going to be the majority of people. The majority of people, as you begin to shine your light, are going to be inspired by you. Now, they may not tell you that, but your personal example is going to inspire them to examine their own selves and work harder to be more of that authentic self. And that's the key. You can begin to circulate, as you become more productive, the people in your spheres of influence, personal and professional, your children, etc., are going to be more productive. When I say productive, I don't just, and when I say productive, I don't just mean making money. I'm talking about productive in joy, productive in love, productive in health. Just being a healthier, more beautiful, more compassionate person. Living good, guys. We can live good, even in the midst of difficulty. And this is not to play some pie in the sky picture on what's happening in the country now. Because as an African American person with 2 daughters, I am very concerned and I feel the stress of the current administration, its decisions, its way of so-called leading. It's troubling, and definitely it's impacting black people and people of color in ways that are very extreme because these policies are anti-black and anti-woman, and so that's a lot of. I feel that, no doubt, but we can't allow that to define our day-to-day existence because it allows them to win. If they can squelch our light, squelch our ability to be our fullest selves, we lose. So in contradistinction, we are saying, let's be light in the face of that type of darkness. Let's be joy in the face of that type of negative antipathy. Let's be love in the context of their ridiculousness. All right, so boom, goes the dynamite. That's all for the show. We are each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. on YouTube and 4:45 p.m. on Facebook. Please go to Michael Datcher, the Michael Datcher channel, which you probably hear right now, and subscribe. Be a subscriber. We need your support. There's no charge for that. Subscribe for free. We'll just send you out these videos when you are a subscriber. You'll know when I'm on air, doing special broadcast. Also go to michaeldatcher.com to see about upcoming events. You can also, of course, go to Productive Through Joy to see about us. We speak to universities and organizations and schools all the time. Bring us out and let's talk about how we can talk to your people about being more productive through joy. Thanks for being here. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.